Dear students, today we shall do some maths from the exercise 1.1 here. The question number 1, that is 0 rational numbers can we write in the form of p by q where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. For this solution, yes, 0 is a rational number. 0 can be written in the form of 0 by 1, or 0 we may write in the form of 0 by 2, or 0 we may write in the form of 0 by 3. Here in all these three cases, 0 and 1, 0 and 2, 0 and 3 are belongs to integers, and is 1, 2, 3 not equal to 0. So that 0 is a rational number. 0 can be written in the form of p by q where this p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Students, you come to the next maths, that is question number 1. Sorry, question number 2, that is find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. For this maths, the first rational number, that is q1, is the average of the given two numbers, that is 3 and 4. We have got this 7 by 2. So that place of 7 by 2 will be there in between 3 and 4. Here is the place of 7 by 2 in between 3 and 4. Students, you no need to write these steps in the exam. Okay, students, then to get this second rational numbers, that is q2, we may get in between 7 by 2 and 4, or in between 3 and 7 by 2. Then students, let us find these second rational numbers q2 in between 7 by 2 and this 4. Here we have to find the second rational number. So that once again we have to find the average of these two numbers, that is half into sum of these two numbers, 7 by 2 and this 4. Students, it's a very simple calculation. So that second rational numbers we can get in the form of 15 by 4. So therefore, the students, the places of these two numbers, 7 by 2 and this 15 by 4, will be there in between 3 and 4. That is place of this 7 by 2 here and 15 by 4 is here. Then students, we may find the third rational numbers in between 15 by 4 and 4. Here we may get, or in between this 7 by 2 or this 15 by 4, and in between 3 and 7 by 2. Okay students, let us find the third rational numbers, that is q3, in between this 15 by 4 here, 15 by 4 and this 4. So that once again we have to find the average of these two numbers, that is half, and sum of these two numbers, 15 by 4 and this 4, average of these two numbers. Therefore students, we have got this third rational numbers as 31 by 8 by the same method, and the places of these three numbers, that is 7 by 2 and 15 by 4 and this 31 by 8, will be there in between 3 and 4. Here is the 7 by 2, here 15 by 4, and here 31 by 8. Similarly, another three rational numbers between 3 and 4 to be found by ourselves. Hereafter you find it by yourself. Okay students, then the rational numbers between two given numbers will be found by another method, that is by the decimal expansion. Here first of all we should learn the types of decimal expansion. Decimal expansion are of three types, that is terminating decimal expansion, second one is non-terminating repeating decimal expansion, then third one is non-terminating and non-repeating decimal expansion. Then the example of terminating decimal expansion are 2.5, 3.4, 4.6, 4.8, or this 5.6, etc. Then here 2.5, after this decimal only one digit 5 is there, then thereafter it is terminated. Here after this decimal 4.6, there are two digits and this terminated. Then after this decimal, here only one digit is there, here after it is terminated. So that these are the example of terminating decimal expansion. Then students, you come to the second kind of decimal expansion, that is non-terminating and repeating decimal expansion. Here the example of this expansion is, that is 2.56, 56, 56 dot dot dot. Dot dot means here infinite numbers of digits are here, and so that it is non-terminating, and the digits after this decimal, the digits 56, 56 are repeated here, so that it is repeating decimal expansion. That is why this is together it is called as non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Then another kind of example of non-terminating repeating decimal expansion is 3.5555 dot dot dot. Infinite numbers of digits are here, and the digits after this decimal, digits 5 and 5 and 5 are repeated, so that this also an example of non-terminating and repeating decimal expansion. Okay students, come to the next kind of decimal expansion, that is that is non-terminating and non-repeating decimal expansion. Here the example is given as 3.5678241 dot 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 dot. That means it is non-terminating, and the digits after this decimal, the digits 5678241 are not repeated here. So that this is the example of non-terminating. This is the example of non-terminating non-repeating decimal expansion. Then students, now we have to learn how these decimal expansion are related to the rational numbers. Here these first two kinds, that is terminating decimal expansion and this non-terminating repeating decimal expansion, are always represent a rational number, that is q, which can be written in the form of, that is p by q. Then third one, this third kind, that is non-terminating and non-repeating decimal expansion, it is represent an irrational number, that is qc, which cannot be written in the form of p by q. Okay students, just let us make a relation between the rational number and this decimal expansion. For this, here the first rational number between 3 and 4, we have got 7 by 2. Then what is actually that 7 by 2? 7 by 2 means, it is when we divide this 7 by 2, we get 3 times 3 6 3 2 6, that is remainder is 1. Let us put a decimal, then we got 0 here, then 5 times of this 2 is 10. Therefore this 7 by 2 we have got in the form of p by q as a rational numbers, but then this is a terminating decimal expansion also, so that these rational numbers we have got in the form of terminating decimal expansion, so that instead of getting this rational numbers between 3 and 4 as 7 by 2, 15 by 4, or this 31 by 8, we should get the rational numbers in the form of terminating decimal expansion also. Therefore the 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4 we can get in this form: 3.5, 3.6, that is 3.7, 3.62, 3.92, 3.7, like this. Here we have got 1 2 3 4 5 6. All these are rational numbers, and these rational numbers are found in the form of terminating decimal expansion, and these numbers are found in between 3 and 4, so that the rational numbers between 3 and 4 we can get by this method also. Okay students, then you come to the next maths, that is question number 3. Find 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and this 4 by 5. Students, I am giving this one as homework to do at home by yourself, and you show me. And the next maths, that is question number 4. State whether the following sentence are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. Then question number 1, question number 2, and question number 3 already it is solved and it is discussed in my previous class. Students, so that you go through my previous class and you will get the answer in that class. Okay students, thank you.